Hello everyone. Here's a quick little tip to make our lives a little bit easier. So if you're working with an IDE or text editor or whatever, you have this sidebar, right? So whenever you're working with the code base, you usually open the file and then you close the sidebar, right? And then you work with your code, and then whenever we need to explore the file structure, we click the sidebar again and we open it. If you're following in coding standards, then you have this character limit per statement, right? So if you're following pep 8 for Python, psr for PHP or something like that, you have this you have probably set up your IDE so that it has these guidelines, right, for code statement limit. So usually you have 79 or 80 character per statement, so your statement should not overflow beyond that for better readability. Now you have this line, right? So it doesn't make sense for any code to flow over that. Now you have this blank space right here on your right side, which is left unused and which is not being used. And furthermore, whenever you open the project sidebar, your file explorer, notice how your code shifts to the right whenever you open it, and when you close it, the code shifts to the left. Now your eyes need to readjust to the new position again when you open or close it, right? If you're using any IntelliJ based IDE like PHP Storm or IntelliJ, you have this really cool option to reposition your sidebar. So if we position our sidebar to the right side, it utilizes this white space on the right, because we are following code standard and we're usually not going beyond 79 or 80 character per statement, so we have this white space available to us. Now if we move the sidebar to right side, then it utilizes this space. And furthermore, look at this, when we close and open the sidebar, your code doesn't get affected. Your code position stays static and it doesn't get affected, and your code doesn't jump around, so your eyes don't need to readjust the new position, which is a really handy thing when you are working long hours in a code base and you constantly need to open and close the sidebar, and you constantly need to readjust your position for the code. So this solves two the problems, utilizing the white space and your code base stays static. So you can do this pretty easily in any IntelliJ based IDE, and I think you should use an proper IDE instead of using a text editor. But if you are using something like VS Code, you can do the same thing here also. So in VS Code also you have your sidebar at left side, right? And if you press Ctrl B, then your sidebar opens and closes, right? Now notice the code shift. Your code was here, now it shifts to the left, now then it shifted to the right? Now you can press Control or Command comma and search for sidebar. Now you have this option, right? Workbench sidebar location, choose right, and boom, your sidebar shifts to the right. You have your minimap here, you have your code here, and your sidebar here. Now if you keep the sidebar open, it doesn't affect your code because your sidebar is utilizing the white space that is left unused anyway. And also if you decide to close the sidebar and focus on your code, then it doesn't affect the code position. So this is a quick little tip to help ease your workflow a little bit while you're working with a code base, when you're working with an IDE or a text editor. Alright, ciao.